Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at the X-Files first season, and this is episode 9, Space, from 1993. And yes, let's get into it then. Now this was transmitted on the 12th of November 1993 on the Fox network, and then on the 17th of November 1994 in the UK on BBC Two. Now, it's standard time of 46 minutes long, and this is written by Chris Carter, the showrunner, the producer of the series. And apparently he didn't think on reflection that this is one of his best stories. I didn't really, I don't think he was as keen on it, let's say that. Now, it's directed by William Graham. And William Graham, he directed X-Files season 1 this season, episode 17, EBE, and then season 5, which is in 1998, episode 15, Travelers. And then there's some feature films, Waterhole, 1967, Submarine, 1968, and Return to the Blue Lagoon, 1991. Yeah, there we are. They're feature films. But then you look and there's just a whole stack of TV series and shows that he's directed. Yeah, lots of them. Now, before I go into the cast, I think I should just point out a few things about this episode. It was originally conceived, again, by Chris Carter, as like what they call a bottle episode. You know, they were hoping it was low costs, not a big cast, not too, cutting costs. But of course, it didn't work out like that. Even though they used a lot of NASA stock footage, which is appropriate and gives it a good effect in this. They built the command center in the studio, and apparently costs were overrun on this, and that had a real bad effect because it ended up this was the most expensive episode of the whole first season. And he didn't conceive that it would be that, but it was. That was it. Yeah, so there we are. So it's not a good episode for him. Now, let's get into the cast. Of course, we've got David Duchovny playing Fox Mulder. We've got Gillian Anderson playing Dana Scully. Then we've got Ed Lauter playing Lieutenant Colonel Belt. A face that you might recognise, but he's been in quite a few also feature films. Ones that I just popped out was The Midnight Man, 1974, French Connection 2, 1975, King Kong, 1976, the remake again, King Kong, and King Kong's very popular at the moment as well. Then he was in Cujo, 1983, Stephen King story. Death Wish 3, 1985, yes. Old Charlie Bronson. Raw Deal in 1986, Arnie. Wow. Then born on the 4th of July, 1989. That's a really good Vietnam film. I think Tom Cruise, I think stars in that. Then we've got The Town That Dreaded Sundown from 2014, which is an American slasher film. Wow. So that's a good one to have on your CV. And then I say it's just his face is familiar in terms of a lot of TV series, as appearances, and TV movies. Then we've got Susanna Thompson, who plays Michelle Gennaro. She was in Random Hearts 1999, which was a Harrison Ford film, and she was in Malignant 2021. Brilliant horror film, which I've reviewed and talked about on this channel before. Absolutely love Malignant. She was in that. And again, just a lot of TV series and films, a big CV full of them. Then the next actor I'll mention is Tom McBeath, who plays one of the scientists in this. Now, he was in X-Files Season 2, Episode 7, called 3. Season 3, Episode 18, Teso dos Bicos. Hey, yeah, well, that's what it says. That's the title. I don't know where they get these titles from. But yes, those were the episodes he was in. So he's got X-Files written all over him. Yes. And then we've got feature films that he was in. Quite interesting films. The Accused, 1988. I know it's a Jodie Foster one. Then Van Damme in 1994's Time Cop. Yes, he's in that. And then Aliens versus Predator Requiem 2007, which I know was not a lot of people's favourite. They don't like it, but I quite liked it, actually. I think it's okay. You know, I know it may not be the best, but it's very enjoyable. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I enjoyed it. Anyhow, the TV series and TV films are just amazing. There's just so many that just stand out, and he's in them. So that is the cast. It's quite a small cast, saving money. Yes, there we are. That's right. There are a few some smaller, very much parts in it, but those three make the appearances along with Duchovny and Anderson. So there we are. Next, I suppose I should tell you what it's about. That's what you want to know. Yes. Well, they are called in to investigate a possible saboteur in NASA's space shuttle program. Yes. Now that is serious stuff. And they go in there and they find that perhaps things are not right. Things are not what they seem. And it's interesting, we get this scene where Fox Mulder, he meets the former astronaut, now there's not an astronaut anymore, who's in charge of all this, Colonel Belt. And he's going on, he's his hero, and, you know, from his childhood, and, you know, he's just totally... But of course, he realizes that maybe not everything is quite right there. And it gets to a point where we're beginning to wonder, is he possessed by some sort of alien extraterrestrial entity? An alien extraterrestrial entity? Well, yes, that's for you to make up your mind, because we get the scenes that on the originals, when he was an astronaut, he came into contact with something, and this is where it may have come from, the possession back in when he was in space. And this is what the kind of story, how it develops. So that makes it sound perhaps, well, probably doesn't, better than it is, because this is considered opinion seems to be that it's a dull, not very exciting episode, and is perhaps the worst of this whole first season. I can understand maybe from that it doesn't feel, compared with some of the others, as interesting. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's not one that you're jumping about and thinking, "Here, I want to watch that again." But I quite enjoy seeing all the space shuttle and all that, even if it is stock footage. But I just think maybe there was a lack of real tension in it. Maybe, or you didn't really care that much, which is even worse, to think that you don't care. And you can see that why Chris Carter perhaps wasn't as keen on this episode on reflection. It's all there because it just doesn't live up to the expectations and promises. But, this is bound to happen. I mean, there's a lot of episodes in this first season. As there were in those days, they did a lot. So I think it's 24. So that's it. You're going to get these episodes that are not quite as good. And it's ironic because it turned out to be the most expensive episode. So there you are, You can throw a lot of money at things and it doesn't always mean you get the best. There's a good example, yes. So I think I can't really say any more about it, but before I go, I always show you this. There it is. There is the first season box set, which is in, of course, the big giant box set that I've got. It's all contained in there, but there it is. It's the first season, and that's it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, then we'll let you know when I put out these videos, and you can have a look in the playlists and see if you fancy anything. I don't know. Also, if you like this particular video, please give it a like, because it gets it out onto YouTube and into algorithms and all that stuff. And, it might help people come to it and say, "Hey, I'll try that." Anyhow, and if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read what you, what you think and what you say. And that's it, really. It all costs notes. So, hey, bye. You can't say fairer than that. So, all I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.